G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and welcome back to another Sunday question and answer. Well, every second Sunday, I should say. Where every second Sunday, Trevor and myself, and sometimes Crash Test Cal if he's not working, we get together, we go through some of your questions, all things about FPV, YouTube, and drone racing related. Stick them in the comments down below. We go through and sort of pick out some fun, interesting, or just exciting questions and have a bit of a laugh. Now, big spoiler, or I guess big disclaimer, I should say, if you like professional videos with things in focus and great sound quality, this is not the video for you, because this is just Trevor and I doing a bit of rambling. There's also going to be a podcast link down below, so if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can go check out that podcast as well. But let's kick it off, get into some questions about all things FPV. How you been anyway, Trev?
Good. Can we put that bag on your head again?
What are you talking about?
You look better with the bag on your head.
Oh, from last week. Yeah. Alright, so this first one is, I really like this table here actually. It makes it quite, I don't know if that's coming up in shot, but very comfortable. Q&A, this is one of the very few channels that I'm actually excited to see each new video from. Oh, you guys do a great job. Oh, and this is sure, so this is from James Henderson Music, so thanks so much, mate. To my question, how does the shape of a frame affect how the quad handles? So a stretched X, a normal, a H, a squished X, a dead cat. You know, how does the shape of frame actually affect the flight characteristics of a drone? Do you want me to go, you to go?
No, you can go.
I can see Trevor had glazed over just a little bit already, but I would say it changes how it feels on the sticks when it's in the air. So for me, the biggest difference I notice, it's where you have the most authority, I would say, in whatever axis. So if you've got a stretched X, it's a little bit stretched out, it's a little bit longer. We're going to be going this way, so pretend the quad's going that way. And I think it feels like you've got more control at the back, but it also feels like a bit of a physical expo, because if you think about it, if you tilt forward just a few degrees, and that's on a small one, this is quite difficult to explain, but it does affect it, and the more you have more authority, the further it is stretched in that direction. So I guess a H frame, which is really stretched out and it's really wide, you're going to have better in the roll axis. And yeah, that's the best I can do. What about you, Trev?
Yeah, about the same. It is pretty hard to explain.
Yeah, whether you need some real diagrams or like some sort of quad.
We need a whiteboard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This one is from Jordan Anderson. Lol, did you know that you let a GT F-bomb slip through the cracks? So, did you know that, Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah, so last week I might have missed one of the editing little bleep words that popped out there. So, and you guys let me know about it, don't worry. Tony, Q&A, what do you guys think about how the word drone is now considered by most to be anything that has 4 propellers? I have to explain the difference between a quadcopter and an actual drone every time people are asking me about the hobby. It gets tiresome. I know it's a silly question, but it bothers me. Anyway, keep up the good work. Love the channel. So thanks very much, Tony. Does it bother you that we call our hobby drone racing, or what do you reckon?
No, not really. Look, it's probably more recognisable as a drone rather than a quadcopter, because you still got to explain what a quadcopter is to someone. And you can thank the media for that, because it's not really what we've done or anyone else has done. The media have just gone on the bandwagon, and anything that goes wrong and it's a drone, well, it's a drone. So
yep. Yeah. And it used to bug me, I think, when I first started, because not a drone, but you're never going to win that battle. So I think we're just embracing the word as drone and changing people's perception. It's going to be easier to change their perception than change the word we actually use for this hobby. So drone racing, I think, look, yes, it's not autonomous and all that sort of stuff, but those people don't really care. If you can just say it's a racing drone and it's a drone that fly around for fun, then I wouldn't really worry about it. The distinction might bug you, but it's not going to change someone's view of the hobby when they see how much fun they're having. So I'm happy to promote it as drone racing. This one's from Viper FPV. Hey guys, love the channel. What do you use for YouTube thumbnails? They look sweet. Thanks very much, Viper. What do you use? What program do you use, Trev?
Photoshop.
But I should say too, we're going to leave a link to Trev's channel up here in the description, somewhere like that. It should be popping up above his big shiny bald head. But did you get a haircut too?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it's looking sharp, mate. Yeah, it looks good.
I'm parting at the other side.
Yeah, I use Photoshop as well, and a big tip for me, like if you're a content creator out there making a lot of content, I would say spend some time getting your thumbnails looking consistent so people can recognize that it's your videos. And to do that, I've got a template, so whenever I open up mine, I just, you know, go to the review, whether it's a bench review, whether it's a flight review, whether it's the Tech Tuesday, I just open up those different folders, and in there's like an actual template of the sort of thing I want to work on for my thumbnail. So you might say I changed my thumbnail pictures a little bit, and that was definitely a direct result. I wanted just to have those different stylizing, and I don't know, but yeah, I use Photoshop as well, but make some templates. Captain Crunch. My God, man, I enjoyed every bit of content. I don't know why I read it like that. I enjoy every bit of content on YouTube, but every bit of your content on YouTube. But seriously, you put out so many videos, I struggle to keep up. I think you're the biggest man on YouTube. You must be driving Trevor nuts. Am I driving you nuts, Trevor?
Everybody.
Thank you so much for being my conduit into the hobby. It's such an escape for me. This isn't really a question, but thanks so much. I'm glad you enjoy them, Captain Crunch. And I do, like, I love this hobby. I love it so much. I want to share it with you guys. I live it. I breathe it. Every single day I'm thinking about drones. And that's the message I want to share. And just get other people hooked. And when you can get together and fly with your friends, nothing, as far as I'm concerned, comes close to just how much fun that is. And I want to bring you guys along as well. And I really, I guess, value my Patreon supporters and new subscribers and new viewers. And I don't take this lightly, that I feel very blessed and privileged, you know, and it was a lot of hard work. But I feel very blessed and privileged to be able to do this, so I want to keep making all that content for you guys. So that's why I like to work hard as well, and, you know, put in each and every day to make content for you guys. All right, Trevor.
Oh, we're ready to go.
This one's for you. Why is Trevor so boring?
Yeah, because.
That's me just having a dig. That's not what it says. The question is from Sasquatch FPV. Have you guys ever lost the drone in water where you can't see it, but you've got a general idea? What could you use to retrieve it?
So snorkel, I guess, if you can't see it.
Well,
we've never lost a drone in water, have you?
No.
No.
Not deep water where I can't see it anyway. I've lost it in some puddles and those sorts of things, and the side of a river, but never where I can't actually see it. If you did lose one, what would you use to get it back? Say it was out in the middle of the river.
Granger.
Okay, this guy might not have it. I don't think Sasquatch FPV doesn't have a Granger or a cowl, but what tools would you use?
Well, no, I'd just probably leave it there.
Would you? I reckon maybe a fishing line with a lot of, maybe some sinkers on there and a big grappling hook sort of thing on the end. You could throw that in and try and get it back. That would be my only sort of tip.
Dragging everything else, rivers.
Yeah, maybe. Depends. If I lost my rooster or my America in there, I'd at least give it a crack. This one's from Narrow Deep. Hi guys, thanks for what you do. Could you please describe the main types of gates and some general dimensions for those who build them themselves? So I guess you've got an arch gate, a square gate, and if we're talking about FPV gates, we're talking about the gates you fly through on the track. We call them ring gates as well. They're those ones that are sort of suspended in the air. They're a big ring that you fly through. And you've got some gravity gates, which are parallel with the ground. You've got to dive down through them and keep going. And I would say generally, how high do you reckon a gate is? Maybe
probably 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've thrown through smaller ones. So
yeah.
Sometimes we're only less than 1 meter.
Yeah, and I would say to try and build them, well, you can build them out of pool noodles, but just use whatever works. So whatever sort of you can bend into that 1-2 meter length sort of shape and have as general. And arc is usually a lot easier to fly through than the square ones, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alrighty, moving on. So this one's from Jay Renwick. Trev, the workshop area looks great. Question, do you guys prefer reduced rates for indoor flying brushless quads? So if you're going to fly around indoors, what do you think about your rates and your setup or your modes? How do you go about that, Trev?
Well, I fly in stable mode because the hassle with flying in our pit, if we fly in rate mode, you touch something, you're gone. It just falls out of the sky. In stable mode, you hit something, you bounce off it and you keep going. So that's what we use, or that's what I use.
I think that if I'm going to do indoor flying, I'm definitely not as aggressive. I fly on self-leveling mode as well. And for me, probably the big one, I'm noticing how much my arm is moving now. For me, the big one is, if you fly in acro mode, well, I should just say, I need a better name for that, but just with no self-leveling, I go too fast. The quad picks up way too much speed and it's ripping all over the place, and that's too hard. I don't have the skills to fly indoors like that, so definitely I like self-level mode if you're indoors, but I don't adjust my rates or anything like that.
You can't, with rate mode too, look, as I said, once you hit something or bounce off something and there, you don't recover. Yeah, you just hit the deck.
There is less time to recover when you're in a tiny little space like that, Kevin Summers, podcast was a great idea. I'll definitely subscribe and download. Do you plan on releasing anything strictly in audio format that never appeared on the YouTube page? And I'd say, nope, not really. The only time I ever might do something a little bit different that most subscribers can't see would be for my Patreon people. So maybe some special bonus videos or that sort of stuff for them. But that would still be on YouTube. It would just be an unlisted video that only they could see. Jakey D FPV, what's your favorite VTX and antenna? Do you have any favourite VTXs?
No. Anything that's got smart audio now I really like.
Yep, it is a very handy feature.
Yeah,
yep.
And my favourite antenna is the Pagoda. No whistle butts.
What, on your head or on the quad?
On the quad.
Okay, what about on your head?
What do we call that multi-patch thing?
Triple feed patch?
Yeah, triple feed patch.
Yep.
They work brilliant.
So you're going to have a triple feed patch. What's on the other side?
That'd be a Pagoda.
Okay. Yeah. I would say, I don't know, yeah, same as Trevor, I just like a cheap VTX if it's got smart audio or tramp audio, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. It is very handy. It's got to have changeable power settings, and also I don't like the ones that you have to count the different LEDs when they're flashing. I like one with a clear LED display. There's quite a lot of those out there. And also I would say I totally agree with you on the antennas on your goggles to have a triple feed patch, and I feel like I'm some sort of reindeer or something like that, and a Pagoda. But when it comes to my quad, I'm a bit different. I just like a straight up dipole antenna for me, rather than I feel like it just lasts a lot better in the crashes. So I don't know, but you don't crash, Trevor?
No, I just park a lot.
Ferret FPV, if your budget was only $250, would you upgrade to a QX7, I'm paraphrasing here, or get another quad? He's got 3 quads already. $250. He's got 3 quads.
Well, it doesn't float, so he's flying with already.
Fly Sky transmitter.
Yeah, get a QX7.
Yep, 100. And then you could, yeah. Oh, Trevor's batteries are done. I agree. Get the QX7. I think it's the best. I'll link it down below, but I think it is the best budget radio we've got, and it's got such a strong RF link. It's just a very, very good radio for its price as well. HD Godfrey, or as some people might like to pronounce it, HD. Love the content, Stu. Well, thank you so much, good sir. What is the best antenna setup for diversity goggles and VTX? Well, we just kind of went through that, I guess.
Yeah, we just answered that. Yeah.
But that's it. This guy didn't know we were going to do two times that.
The question before.
There you go.
Yeah.
Future FPV. How can we get more people into the hobby?
How can we get more people into the hobby?
How can the everyday pilot get more people into the hobby, get into drones?
I don't know, you tell me.
Alright, I will tell you. Yeah, I feel like, unless you're starting YouTube, but I feel like when you're out, show people what you're doing, you know, take along those spectator goggles, talk about it, go to meets, maybe write to your local newspaper, contact some media outlets. You can do a whole bunch of stuff, have Facebook groups, get out there, get known, be seen, do some cool stuff with drones, put some shows on, and, you know, just show people how much fun it is. Like, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is trying to grow this hobby. And I do wonder how many people my videos have got into and flying, because I get a lot of positive emails and things about, you know, like that one before, the conduit of getting people flying. But I want more people to be doing that. I want more people out there to be sharing this message of FPV and flying with your friends. And I would say too, if a newbie has come along, be accepting of their mistakes they're going to make, because we're all new at one point. They might not have the best gear, they might just be starting out, they might not be a very good pilot. But I would say to experienced pilots out there, sort of take them under your wing and be kind, and remember we're all beginners at one stage.
That's right.
I don't know, anything to add to that, Trevor?
No, but I just remembered something. We were flying yesterday and we had
You were flying yesterday.
Yeah,
I was going to come,
yeah.
But what happened? Cal decided, Cal had a sleep in, and we were going to skate up and see you. Cal didn't turn up till late, like very, very late. Then we went to find you and you'd already gone home.
Yeah, so we're doing a few packs, and we had a dad in his daughter shop.
Oh, yep.
I've forgotten his father's name, but Maggie, how you going? She's only 10, I think 10 years old, maybe 8, but she's an FPV pilot, and she was really keen. So
big shout out to Maggie.
Good to meet you yesterday, Maggie.
Trevor was telling me about it. Fantastic.
And the old man.
Yeah, well done to families that can get together and fly, and you know, having that dad and shop with his daughter who was into FPV.
Yeah.
And she, like, I wasn't there, but from the story that you said, she was driving past, said, Dad, they're flying FPV. Drove down, and Maggie knew all about Grumpy Trev and was a big fan. So shout out to her as well. That's so cool. Should we move on?
Yeah, we'll move on.
All right. We had a little mandate last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we went and saw the movies. Trevor and I. It was very romantic.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2. We had the third wheel Cal there as well.
Yeah,
so
I thought we were holding hands. It was somebody else. Yeah, Deadpool 2 was good, wasn't it?
Deadpool 2. What are you talking? Anyway, Sem, back on topic of FPV. Semo Cooper. Hey Stu, please help. Okay, when I look at your videos, they look really good. But when I upload my YouTube videos, they look like a blurry mess. What's the secret? Any special sauce?
He's probably uglier than you.
No, he's talking about his flight videos.
Oh.
So what I would say is, look, I just use my GoPro on 1080, 60. I don't do any. I know a lot of pilots out there. Look, a lot of people spend an awful lot of time color grading and doing all this stuff to their footage and making it look fancy and messing with the timings and speed ups and slow downs and all this sort of stuff. And I guess if you think my videos look good, thank you very much. You don't need to do any of that stuff just to share a bit of content. So for me, it's just recorded that and I just pretty much stick it bang on the computer. I don't put any secret sauce through it and it's ready to go. So it could be your camera, you know, whatever camera you're using.
How new is he at it?
We're saying his videos look like a blurry mess.
Yeah, but he might not be putting many up. He might have just... He'll get better at it.
No, but I'm saying I think he's saying he's got the footage there. It's just not coming good on YouTube when he uploads it to YouTube. So I don't know, maybe...
I'd like to know what sort of camera he's
using.
Yeah,
I guess... we need more details for that one. Thank you very much. If you could just email me at UAVfutures@gmail.com and I will see if we can include that for the next Q&A. Jonathan Wilson! I don't know why I said it like that. But which micro FPV camera do you think is best for the price, latency and overall image? Now Trevor, this one, you've just been printing out these bad boys. I'm going to link this down below as well. What's this camera called?
That's the Fly. Cool.
I don't know, mate. We'll link it down below, but how much was it?
$36.
And you can go watch Trevor's video above his head. And was it a good camera?
It was really good for the money.
Yeah, for the money, I would say that's you're not getting, it's not GoPro quality or anything like that, but it's a tiny little camera
1080p
for your micros.
It's $27 US.
Yeah. Shane Maloney, GT, CTC, and Stu. Do you guys compete in any race leagues? Why not? Thanks for everything you guys do for the community.
No, because we haven't got time. And it bores us.
I think race leagues would be fun, man. For me, I got work, I want to, as in like I've got stuff that I want to test. And a big one for me when I go out and fly, if you go to a race day, you might only get 10 packs in if you get to the finals or something like that. If you take out 30, 40 batteries, well, it sucks to go home with charged up batteries.
And
for me,
I'd have to fly against little kids that are...
Mate, so would I. People are so fast. Kids are so fast nowadays. I'd be in that bottom league for sure.
If they had a geriatric league, I'll go into that.
Yeah. But yeah, so the reason we don't go to those race leagues is I think we just like flying with our mates and goofing around, having fun. But it would be fun just to go and meet people and that sort of stuff up there. That'd be the best. I want to go to Eastside FPV actually. Yeah. Hey gents, always looking forward to sitting down on Sunday with a coffee to join you in the Q&A. Well, thanks so much, WB Blocker. And great stuff as always. I've been flying for about 6 months now and I can't get enough. I'd like to go to some races, but I'm still trying to figure out how to match channels and bands from your VTX. Is there a simple way to figure it out? Well, if you've got smart audio, it's pretty easy. You can just go straight in there and find out what works. If you're going to go to a race, well, they'll tell you what channel to be on, and then you just need to do the homework on how to change it on your VTX. So it might be dip switches, it might be LEDs, it might be a press button. Just look into that stuff. So it's pretty straightforward. As far as the best channels, if you're going to go to a race, they're going to designate, the organizers there, they'll have a channel for you and say, hey, WB Blocker, can you please get on F2 or F6 or race band 1 or something like that. It's going to be up to you to know how to get on that, and that's all different based on your VTX instructions, so definitely check that out. Daytona Gym 78. It's very warm under this heater, man, but it's nice too because it's freezing here. Hey, what's up guys? Do you think that racing will stay at 5-inch or are we going to move to the smaller 3 inches? Let's talk about professional racing, not what you like right now, because I know your answer. Yeah. There's another battery?
Oh yeah, no, that's a hard one because 5 inches is nice to fly, and the 3 inches now they've perfected those too, and they're really good to fly. So I think there's going to be a happy medium of both. Yep,
I think you're not going to beat a 5-inch. The top speed of a 5-inch, and I think it comes down to track design and what people want. They look better for a little spectator too, and the 5-inch is always going to outperform a 3-inch. 3-inch I think closes the gap more. Yeah. But as far as the premium, like the F1, the fastest of the fast, it's going to be the 5-inch races. Doesn't mean the 3 inches aren't amazing, there won't be 3-inch races, but yeah, I kind of have to say that I think 5 inches will stay as the main one.
I don't think you'll see them racing together.
No way. But a 3-inch I think would go better than a 5-inch on a very, very tight track, because they are so nimble. Kurt Kopp, I quite like that name. What happened last week? And it's only Saturday. You must be talking about there was no Q&A, and that's because they come out every second Sunday. So there you go, Kurt Kopp. It wasn't out last week because it's every second Sunday.
It wasn't out last week because every second Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? That makes sense.
Edit that.
It wasn't out last week.
No, you didn't say what it did. Sorry, go on.
You did some filming gestures, didn't you? All right. This one's from Marshall. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to totally leave that in. This one's from Marshall Campbell. You guys are too funny. Do you ever fly right outside your house, or do you always drive to a larger area? I know it's safer to go somewhere more remote, but I don't always have the time to drive out, and it's so easy. Do you ever fly outside your house, Trevor?
Not really.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And we're very big on safety, and I never want to do anything that could damage people or property, or or the hobby for that matter. I don't want any bad publicity. So we always drive to somewhere where there's not many people, even though it is a bit more of an effort. So
it is a lot.
when I see people flying down the street and stuff, it does bug me a little bit. And if they do it, I think it's even worse when they're posting it online and those sorts of things. And sometimes there's disclaimers like, oh, the people knew that I was flying around and stuff, but sometimes I would just wonder, it'd be all too easy to go into a windshield or something.
Yeah, the postman's coming down the street didn't know he was
Yeah,
flying.
that's
right. I reckon it's pretty irresponsible.
I know. But it could depend where you live. If I lived on somewhere really rural and I knew might have two neighbours with large properties each side and those sorts of things, it might be a bit different.
Well, that's not what he's saying.
Yeah, that's right. If I went out, I wouldn't fly at the front of your house. Yeah, that's right. Wow, this is a long one from Tomikaz CZ. G'day, Stu and our beloved, hopefully still not murdered by Stu's quad during speed test, CTC. There are a lot of new pilots starting every day and they ask, what should they buy as a first drone? And you've answered, you've done a lot of review quads. You've reviewed a ton of quads, I should say, Stu, and I lost track of which ones are your best and your favourite. So my question, if you could please name the following, what are the best bind and fly drones to get? So the best cheap one. Best cheap racing quad. I need to think of this as well. My favourite cheap racing quad, Hawk 5. I think. Performed very, very nicely.
Yeah, well, I reckon the latest Wizard's good too, so...
Yep, okay. And that one's a bit cheaper, too, so there's a difference. Freestyle. I feel like the difference for cheap ones, I'd still kind of just go the same route, because...
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Absolute best racing quad if you don't care about price. For me, you can get a Bind and Fly America, which was bellissimo. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that for me, the America was my dream drone.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Okay, and what about best freestyle quad if you don't care about price?
I reckon the Kia.
Okay, I would toss up between that and a Bind and Fly, the TI, the Titanium Chameleon. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
it depends what sort of flying you want to do as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. Anyway, there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We got through that one kind of quick. Chris FPV, how do you keep track of batteries which are fully charged and which ones were spent? And that's pretty easy. I put the ones that are spent in a spent pile, and I put the ones that I haven't used yet. They're still waiting in the pile of like charge.
Well, I use a cap like that. All my quads that are charged.
All your batteries that are charged.
What do I say? Oh, quads. Yeah. You can't put a cap on a quad, can you?
No.
No. Anyway. Once they're off, they're flat.
Alright. Yeah, but if that's too much, if you don't have those capped, you can always just make two different piles of spent and not spent.
Yeah, but your pile's right across.
That's fine, but I've got my pile of still to use ones inside my little toolbox. I know they're all charged. This one's from Furby FPV. Okay, I really do like your little icon he's got there. G'day Stu, DJ Trev, where can I pick up a UAVfutures shirt? I bet I'm not the only one interested, and I would say I do have some. I don't know if they're released yet, but they're getting very close, and I just got a new sample in with like a black tee as well.
So what?
Since that is not it, but we're gonna they stay tuned, and they'll definitely be going out to my Patreons first, so there'll be a post there for them.
So we
first.
don't even get them, see that?
I'll get you one. I'll get you a special crew one. I'm going to check the timer and then we'll get on with it. So we've just got our teas. We've just had a little tea break. Magic of editing. We're back. And this one is from Darwin Sevilla. Hey Stu and GT, I just wanted to ask, how much voltage do you have in your Forest Lipos before you landed? There are so many conflicting ideas between users landing at different voltages. What do you land at, Trevor?
Just under 14.
Yeah, I would say I like to land at 14 as well, but I will smash my batteries so they go down ridiculous. And yeah, but 14 is about 3.5 volts per cell, so that's what I would say.
They normally come back up a little bit anyway after you land them, so...
Steve Taylor, hey Stu, here in Portland, Oregon, we are the king of quality craft beers. In Australia, do you guys sit around and drink Foster's all day? Do we drink Foster's?
I'm sure I answered that somewhere else.
I bet you was on Discord.
No, they actually, We export Fosters because no one over here will drink it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know a single person who drinks Foster's beer. I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where you could buy Foster's. Can you buy that at the?
Yeah, you can still buy it. Yeah.
Where? At the bottle?
At the bottle shop. Yeah.
Oh, I've not seen that for a long time.
I don't know why you would.
Michael Hopwood. Hey Stu and Trev, love your channel. It's helped me out a lot. Bought Onways based off your review of them. Got my first ever drone in the air last week thanks to you and a channel like yours. My question for next week is, have you thought about coming to the States for a multi-GP International Open? What about you, Trevor? You thought about going over there?
Yeah, it'd be good. Send us a ticket, we'll go.
Yeah, that's right. I think for me, it's just it's difficult in the logistics of getting over there and the finances and all that sort of stuff. But if someone's like, Stuart, can you come over? You can do some work over here, do some filming. I'll be, yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's go to the States. What about maybe we should host something here, like a UAVfutures, a first ever UAVfutures event. Would you come along to that, Trevor? You better.
Yeah, we could. That'd be a bit of fun.
Yeah, we'll get Crash Test Caldera, we'll get the crew together. But yeah, so I don't know. What do you drop some comments? Would you come if we gave you enough notice to like a UAVfutures event where you're all invited and we muck around and do some FPV shenanigans? This one's from Iceman Ice 1200, man. Under 1K club, yay. Summer is kicking off here in the States, and I was wondering what drone that you have there reviewed that stood the test of time. Hoping one day to make a video or maybe a top tier list to value price point. Prices change though. Either way, keep up the great work. Okay, anyway, what drone has stood up to the test of time? What budget one for you?
Budget one?
Yeah.
Did he say budget, did he?
Wondering. Oh no, what drone stood the review that stood the test of time? Oh, that's easy. There we go. That does make. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for me, the Chameleon stood. I've flown that so many packs through that, and the Rooster as well. They've held up very, very well. Willikistan. This is sad, but I'm only kidding when I say that getting a question read out in Sunday Q&A is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Well, congratulations, Willikistan. I doubt I'll go for 2 in a row, but I'll ask, do you know if there's been any study or test done on the effects of FPV goggles on your eyes over an extended period of time? Like more eye strain or slight changes? Would the effects be different between single goggles and box goggles? Thanks for another entertaining videos. And I'm going to say, nope, I don't think there is any literature on the long-term effects of eye strain, and it could be, you could look like Trevor in the long run. For me, I don't like I think if anything it would be worse on box goggles because that's where I get the most strains. And so anywhere where you're getting a lot of strain can't be too good for you. But I don't know about any research that's been done on the long-term effects. I don't think we have done that yet because
it hasn't been around long enough.
Yeah, that's right, exactly right. So no, not that I know of.
No.
Just La Servant. Hi guys, Stu, GT, and maybe CTC. It's great to see you here every week. Thanks for the awesome content. What's your opinion on quadcopter sims? Do you still use them on rainy days to improve your skills? Do you use the sims much, Trev?
I got a track. No need to.
That's right.
Look, I find the sims boring. I'd rather fly, so I know everyone, each to their own. A lot of the guys I talk to on Discord love the sims, and they quite often fly while we're talking. And but no, I'm not into them. I tried them and I just really, it's not the same, it's not real enough for me. Okay.
You know what, I actually want to improve my freestyle game a little bit, and I've been thinking about getting back onto Velocidrone a bit more since the update and putting a few more virtual packs through that. So I think I kind of really like them if you've got some goals set in mind, and I do think they help your flying.
The last time I tried them, I never had a good track for freestyle.
Yeah, yeah. This one's from Jack Hobbs. Thanks for a great video. Can you please review the Diatone GT M530, please? Ding! Go watch that video right there. So there you go. Dan Erk Walson Hollum. Hi, keep up the good work. So after using the V2s for a while now, Stu, am I going to switch back to the V1s? They've got this guy has the V1s and loves them. Are they worth switching? And you know what, I get asked this quite a bit. How much longer am I going to fly with my V2s? Am I going to go back to my V1s? And I feel like I still want to test the V2s more. It doesn't mean I don't love my V1s, because absolutely they're my favourite, I think, goggles over. I've flown more packs through them. But the V2s, I want to give them a good run too and see, you know, and make a real decision and inform you guys and let you know how that, for testing purposes, how that went. What did you think about the V2s?
Well, we only got to use them once and we can't pry them out of Stu's hands now, so that says a bit about it.
But if you've got the V1s, they're amazing. You know, if you bought those, I think you've got the V1s.
I'm still happy with them, and you know they're getting cheaper at the moment. So snap the V1s up while you can, guys, because they're a great goggle.
Rich Casto, hey guys, I just watched today's Q&A and I must say that Stu and Trev are great, but definitely need a little more of CTC. The guy really fills out the team. Okay, my question, hear that, Cal? Is I bought a Naze 32 Rev 6 I bought a Naze, SP F3 and an Omnibus F3. Which one's easiest for new builds? And I'm going to say just use the Omnibus F3. It's going to be the easiest one.
Yep.
It's got the built-in OSD. Yeah, much better. Don't use a Naze anymore. That's very old school. Flybid! Hey guys, great show. I've got two questions. First, Stu, how the heck do you fly around with your hand? How the heck do you fly with your hands flailing around? Well, you notice I don't talk while I fly, so that's why I can keep him on the radio.
Only way we can shut him up.
Second, have any of you pondered head tracking on a drone? It might look cool in some corners and those things. So head tracking, that's where you move your head in real life and the camera of the drone would move. Would you ever want to put that on a drone, or have you tried it?
No. Well, I have tried it, yes.
Yeah.
But on a big drone that can handle the weight, because you've got to have crap on your drone that's going to turn the cameras, and it's just all too heavy for these little things.
And it's another point of failure too. Another crash, that's another servo that's broken. How disorientating, I think it's a bad idea on a race drone.
It's okay on a really big drone, you know, something like this.
With a bit of latency where you're taking in the scenery, but when you're making split seconds decisions and you need to know where your craft is, where your camera is in relation to your craft at all times, it's just not going to be very useful.
I suppose one advantage of it, you got to always look around and see the tree you just hit.
Yeah, if your battery was still plugged in. Anyway, Deuce Boy, hey, new subscriber, been going through your videos and loving it. Thank you very much, mate. I'm trying to buy some second-hand gear and I'm really excited to get into the hobby at some point in the future. I want to ask about cameras. Can you recommend a camera that's suitable for piloting and will also give a decent DVR or can record the video? And I guess one that, you know, you've got options like the RunCam Split and some stuff like that. I'll link them down in the description down below. But I think as far as DVR goes, just get that recording on your goggles. And a good camera like a little RunCam Micro or Foxeer Micro, they seem to have pretty good picture quality. Yep. Trev, anything to add for that DVR sort of camera?
No, that's pretty good.
Lee Holt T, I don't know. Good day, Stu, GT and CTC. I think you're building a super light build, so in your opinion, what's better? High KV with high torque motor with a bigger battery and overall heavier, or go for a lighter quad with smaller motors and a lower KV and a smaller battery?
Depends what size you're going to go.
Let's just say a 5-inch. You want a bigger, stronger, I guess heavier drone with more power in it, or one of those lighter drones with less power?
I'll go for lighter.
Okay, I'm going to say build the light. If you're going to go for a thing of a super light build, go as light as you can, but don't skimp out with the battery that you put on there as well. I think you're saying you want a smaller battery. You need a battery that can deliver the right amount of amps, you know, so its capacity is going to help it pump the amps out. And the battery is not a bad place to have weight. Like, that's a good place to have that density, and it's going to be able to pump out a lot more amps if its capacity is larger. So I'd go that. And if it's going really light as well, instead of going lighter with lower KV, I would, you know, try and go lighter maybe with some higher KV as well. So my question is, this one's from Vonditua. My question is, what's a good small brushless quad for indoors and maybe some outdoors? Should I buy a Bind and Fly or whatever? I'm Grumpy Trev, I'm 64 years old, and your advice helped me buy goggles. So, what's a good brushless indoor one?
Indoor and outdoor, you said?
Yeah, indoor with a little bit of outdoor.
I'd say the ET115.
That's this bad boy right here.
Yeah, that's the ET100. Yeah. That's good for inside, but the ET115 is in between. That's probably a little bit underpowered for outside. The 115 is really good. Yeah. But the 125 is a bit big for indoors.
Yeah, the 125 is better for outdoors with only a little bit of indoors.
Just one indoors, the ET100 is absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Hector, I'll put those in some links down below, maybe a playlist or something will pop up there. Hey guys, what's better, the America or the Emax 5-inch? So, the Emax Hawk or the America drone?
Without doubt, the American.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah. On this one underneath from Ruben Robinson, I wasn't going to pick this one to read out. It says, Trev, I've got to say I was disappointed with the Cats' performance on Saturday night. Were you, Trevor?
Yeah, I don't give a
Oh, that's because you don't have your shirt on today.
No, only reason I wear the shirts is because they give them to me for Christmas.
Alright. Racing Alex, hi Stu, before I ask my question I've got to say thanks very much for your videos, my pleasure mate. Could you please explain in a video how to choose the right motor for right ESC for your motors. And yeah, I can do that in a video. I'm going to explain it in this video right now. I would say if you're going to go 5, you just don't want a motor that's going to pull more amps than your ESC. But if you're really worried, a good baseline, if you get a 30 amp ESC on a 5-inch, you're very rarely ever going to blow that ESC out with no matter what motor prop combo that you're using on a 4S. So there you go. What do you reckon? Anything else?
No, that's true.
So if you can get a 30 amp ESC, you should be set. Even like a 20 amp would be fine on a 3-inch, I would say, for most pilots anyway. Blue Motion. Question: is the video from the drone transmitter via Wi-Fi? If so, how does it send a video over such a long distance? No, it's not by Wi-Fi. It's just its own analog signal with its built-in VTX that it spits out, and we pick it up on our goggles with antennas and different power levels. But it is definitely not Wi-Fi. If you're going to get a drone and it's racing and it's over Wi-Fi, that's not this hobby. They're pulling the wool over your eyes, and you're going to get. It's not going to be the same experience.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to fly very far either.
No, and it'll get sloppier and sloppier the further away it goes from your phone.
Yeah.
Derek Burton! Hey guys, I hope you're all well. Do you guys ever think about trying more freestyle? I got into the hobby wanting to race, but after seeing some freestyle pilots, I knew that's what I wanted. Anyways, I would like to see UAVfutures gang flying a few bandos.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I worry about how much stuff we break. Like, I feel like flying into concrete and all that sort of stuff, and you need to take a lot of drones or a lot of repairs, and this is something too, I think you see a lot of people doing some really cool bando flying and really cool videos, and it looks amazing, but what you might not see is the hours and spare parts and the amount of money and cameras and all those bits that are going through.
We just take the wall with us.
Take the what?
Your wall.
What wall? Ah, fly all those. Yeah, but then they'll be broken. A lot of those are already broken, but yeah, that's why my one hesitation about bando flying. It looks cool, but nothing messes up a quad's motor like some concrete or some bricks or some steel. It's not very forgiving whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not. But it would be fun.
It would, and it looks great too.
We'll have to do it at least once.
Yeah. Hi Stu and Trev, question for Sunday. When will we see stereo video, and do you think it'll make flying better? No more trees jumping in front of the quads. So I think you're thinking about like stereo vision, 3D FPV, and we've already tried that. I'm going to leave another video up here as well, and yeah, it's a little bit annoying to set up, and with your 2 different VTXs, it means that's twice as much bandwidth you're taking on the VTX channels, and it's just, it's really fun for a little bit, but it's not where it's at. It's a novelty and a gimmick. It doesn't make flying really any easier.
That really does screw with your eyes.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think if it's lined up perfectly, I quite liked it, but you only get that effect too when you're down low. And what was the other problem with it as well? There was something else I didn't like about I think that you get better video reception though, because if one channel starts to break and drop out, you can still see with your other eye. So that was one advantage I found with it. Leave Stu in his hands alone. Many people gesture a lot when they talk. It's just who they are. Yeah, thanks very much, FireDrake1313. Pick on. That's actually the last question too. So we should pick on Trevor.
I am too. Yeah.
Definitely. What did you guys think? Drop your comments, questions down below. All things FPV related. We can't wait. We're actually going to go flying now. I'm going to go home, charge up some batteries because we're going out tomorrow. Got a big session, some things to test. You've got how many batteries? You said you're taking 30 tomorrow. 30 plus?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got to get home.